We're back. Episode 4 of The Function. I'm Alex.
I'm Sam.
And today, we're back to talking sports.
Mostly. I'm sure there will be a point where we stray off into some world of imagination and fun topics.
Yes. But for right now, what are we starting with?
What do you want to start with?
Let's go in chronological order. Let's start with the NHL draft. What the hell happened?
Well, I missed most of the NHL draft because I was with you and Anthony at Cluck U, seeing that beautiful Asian woman on accident. Not on accident, but we ran into her without expecting it, so that was cool.
That was awesome.
We did not say a word to her, but she was cool.
The way she stared at ourselves, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And when we tried to get the beer, but he said, "Hey, can I see your ID?" And then we left. But I did not see the draft, and I looked through it all, before the podcast, and I was like, that's a lot of long European names that are going to be hard to pronounce. So I just decided to take in the top 2 picks, and with the number 1 overall pick, the San Jose Sharks take Macklin Celebrini, and the Chicago Blackhawks at number 2 take Artem Levshinov. And it was not the most stacked draft. You know, it's like the NBA draft in a way. It wasn't the most stacked. We'll have some good prospects, I'm sure. But there's nobody that you're like, okay, yeah, they're guaranteed 1, they're guaranteed 2. You know, there was nobody really like that this draft. So hopefully everything works out. And, you know, that's...
For the Sharks, yeah.
For the Sharks and the Blackhawks, or the Blackhawks.
They had their time.
The Blackhawks have Connor Bedard. They're going to be good again very soon.
You think so?
Connor Bedard is like Wemby of the NBA.
I
of
like
the NHL.
Bedard, yeah.
He's like Wemby. So, but yeah, like the NHL draft, I've been focusing more on NHL free agency because that's easy. That's a lot easier for me to cover. NHL draft though, a lot of prospects. I'm not really. I had to start learning the world of prospects because there's so much stuff to learn. But yeah, the NHL draft happened last week. 7 rounds. I'm just going to cover the top 2 players for right now because as of right now, there's nobody that really sticks out like, okay, yeah, there's going to be a lot of great players, but nobody that really stuck out to me.
Okay. Fair.
So if we're going in chronological order, next we must start off with the NBA free agency, I guess.
Yeah. A lot of stuff that did not expect, first of all. But should we start at the Paul George deal?
Paul George is officially a Philadelphia 76er.
You could see it happening once he said, screw the Clippers. We're not winning anything.
Yeah.
And
but I don't see Philly winning anything either.
Now he's on another big 3. If the Clippers were ever considered a big 3 with Russell Westbrook.
No.
And Harden, whatever. It should be fun to watch.
They were considered a retirement home.
A little bit. It's fun to watch, seeing how Maxey will probably... I don't know how they're going to split the ball. Like, Joel Embiid's ball dominant. Joel Embiid, post player, could at least shoot the threes. Space the floor. Paul George as well. Could space the floor. Max is a good shooter. I mean, it's a better fit than LA for PG-13. And Sixers have lofty goals of getting past the Eastern Conference Finals because, oh my God, the Celtics and the Knicks.
Bro threw the Knicks in that conversation already.
The Knicks, man.
They lost to the Pacers, bro. They have a lot. This is a bit important season. As of right now, the Knicks, I would put the 76ers over the Knicks.
Right now?
Team-wise, no.
It's hard
because the Knicks have a lot more chemistry than the 76ers. But experience-wise, like, yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, you had to get past the Knicks. No, the Knicks had to get past the 76ers.
At this point, why not? Sure, but the Knicks have a solid 5. A somewhat solid bench. A good coach. Good defensive coach. Always works well in the playoffs. It should be fun. Eastern Conference, 3-headed monster right now. if the Pacers don't do anything.
The Orlando Magic.
If the Magic don't do anything. They whiffed on Klay Thompson and PG.
Hey,
Might get DeMar DeRozan.
True.
Who knows?
I think this Paul George move is. What was the deal for him? Or did he just sign?
It was just a signing.
Yeah, I mixed it up. But what was the contract I meant?
I will pull that up. Hold on. PG got a 4-year deal.
4-year deal.
$212 million.
Max how old is PG?
34, 33.
Bad. I don't like this deal. You're basically signing a player who's about to enter the late end of his career. Playoff P is a thing. I don't like this deal. Not for that much money. I feel like a 1 or 2 year deal would have been fine, but a 4-year deal is kind of insane because I feel like it's just not. I don't like this. I think this is a bad move for the Sixers. I don't like it.
Okay. I
feel like he would have fit better on the Magic. To have more of a veteran player on that team.
That would help him a lot.
But
a lot.
But I don't like this move for the Sixers or Paul George.
Let's move on to Klay Thompson.
Yes, Klay Thompson is officially a Dallas Maverick.
I saw that coming.
What was the trade for him? And the Hornets were involved, right?
Hold on. The Hornets sign and trade, like you said. Golden State. Hold on. Anyway, the deal. Let's talk about the deal for now. The Hornets were involved, yes. Josh Green was sent to the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Warriors got. Probably picks, if I'm not mistaken. But the deal was a 3-year deal for $50 million, which is a solid contract for the Mavericks.
I like this for the Mavs. It gives them a little bit more experience that they could use.
Spacing.
How old's Klay?
34.
See, this is a better contract than the 6. Like 3 years still is a bit long, but you didn't pay him nearly as much, which I like. I think this is a good
and a better fit.
I like this move a lot better than Paul George to the Sixers. The Mavs need this potential. It depends on what Klay Thompson we get, though. Is it the Klay Thompson that scores 40, or is it the Klay Thompson that goes 0 for 10 in a finals game?
Even a mid Klay Thompson should suffice because he'll be your third option, unless injuries. He'll be your third option, deep in the playoffs, experience like you said.
Yeah, Kyrie already has that experience though.
True.
But Klay has all.
He did play awful in the finals.
Klay does have a lot more experience because Klay has 4 rings. Kyrie has 1.
Anyway, I love it. I wish he was a Laker right now, but I love it.
I think that was the best move of the offseason so far in the NBA.
Super awesome move for the Mavericks.
And then Chris Paul is a San Antonio Spur.
Oh, what another good move. Give Wemby a lob passer. Yeah. Mentorship for who they drafted for again?
The Warriors are cleaning house of old players. The Golden State Warriors are officially starting to enter rebuild mode.
Not necessarily.
They're getting there.
They're getting there, but they are trying to get somebody.
When Curry retires, it's rebuild mode.
They're trying to get Lauri Markkanen.
True.
So I don't know if whether or not it happens, whether they go into full on rebuild, because Curry has. Because
right now this Warriors team isn't winning anything right now.
Exactly, they'll be a play-in team in the stacked West.
Yep, they had their time.
And it's whether or not Curry wants to stick around.
Stephen Curry is a future Toronto Raptor.
That doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't. It just being a little delusional would be awesome, but it's not going to happen.
Let's see.
And in other news, the Houston Rockets want Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening.
I think
maybe in a few weeks.
I thought more about it. It's a good move for the experience for Kevin Durant. But at the same time, I feel like it's kind of a dumb move because you're going to be trading away a lot, most likely. And if the Rockets if the Rockets trade away their future, they could be terrible because they're already not the best.
They're
they're starting to get better, but
Would you? Okay, the cap situation in Minnesota is horrible. But if you're Minnesota, do you maybe make a move for KD? Do you see that fitting?
I don't see it. I feel like that would just.
That's starting four, man.
I feel like
Or
that. I feel like
big
that.
four.
I feel like that would kind of ruin the chemistry of the team. It feels like any
Well,
team.
think about it.
It feels like any team KD goes to, the chemistry's ruined.
Think about it.
The Nets.
It'd be the
The
best
Suns.
starting five in the league.
It would be.
McDaniels.
But it does. How many years is it going to take for us to learn that all-star teams doesn't make championship teams? Chemistry is what builds championships. The Phoenix Suns, when they had just Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker, great team, made it to the finals, lost to the Bucks. Then you add KD, get rid of Chris Paul, and bring in Bradley Beal. You're like, oh, look at all these all-stars and Hall of Famers on this team. What do? They get swept in the first round.
By your champions, Nuggets, that year. And then this year, they lost straight away to the Timberwolves, didn't they?
Yep.
In 5 games? 4 games? 4 games. They got swept.
Exactly, that's what I just said.
So they got... Wait. They gave the Nuggets 6 games.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they got swept this year.
Yeah.
I don't like the. It's like, and the Nets, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant didn't work out. The only All-Star team we saw work was the Warriors.
And you're adding KD to a 73-win team.
Yeah, and
it
that
can't
worked.
go wrong, can it?
Yeah, surely.
Surely.
So, but
I mean,
I don't. I feel like if KD went to the Timberwolves, it would ruin everything for the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have chemistry right now. The Timberwolves have a young team thriving. They have every piece they need to compete. They just needed that experience. They beat the defending champs in 7, and then they got boned by Dallas. I see Minnesota making a run this year if they stick together. If they get I don't think KD is a good idea for the Timberwolves. I feel like that would just bring in... I'm not saying KD's a cancer, but it just seems like any team he goes to, they fall apart.
Fair. There were a few extensions for the Boston Celtics.
Jason Tatum got extended.
Derek White.
That team's going to stick around. The Celtics are the next big top... The Celtics and the Nuggets are eventually going to meet in the finals within these next few years. Those are the 2 top dogs of the NBA. Nobody's talking about the Nuggets for some reason. Sure, the Nuggets lost in 7 to the Timberwolves, but it's the Nuggets. Everybody thought the Nuggets were going to finals this year.
They did lose their best defender, buddy.
Yeah, but
KCP to the Magic.
True.
They also want Russell Westbrook as their 6th man.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I don't know. They still have the best player in the NBA, though.
It's an interesting topic.
Nobody talks enough about the Nuggets. Everybody, in my opinion, if you put the Nuggets last year and the Celtics in the finals, I feel like it would have been. I feel like it would have at least went 7.
It would have been closer. Way closer. Yeah.
I don't know who would have won, but I think it would have won 7.
Experience matters at that point. Luka did not have that. Kyrie played like he didn't have that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that. What else happened in the NBA? We got a few signings like Mo Bamba to the Clippers.
He made
Derrick
a song.
Jones
Yo,
Jr.
kind of like the song.
Kind of like the song. Derrick Jones Jr. to the Clippers. So solid depth to replace PG. I don't like the Clippers either way. I don't think they mesh well.
The Clipper, there's never been, and they have that new logo with the boat. There hasn't been a season. I've never taken in my entire career being an NBA fan, I've never taken the Clippers as a threat or serious because they can't get over the hump. They can't win a playoff series. They can't. They went. What's their playoff record series wise in the past 10 years? It took them forever. They've never made it to the final. Never made it to the
conference finals.
Never.
Did they make it? No.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
I think in 2020
against the Suns.
Yes.
Was it?
I think.
No. 2021.
2020. Yeah, it was either 2020 or 2021. We could sound stupid right now, but I'm pretty sure they did. I might be wrong, but the Clippers. Even so, it doesn't matter. The Clippers have never been a team I've taken as a threat, a serious threat. Like when they got Kawhi and Paul George, that was the only time I was like, okay, maybe this team could be dangerous. And then they both got injured.
Yeah. That was
It's kind of like
that was their peak.
kind of like Aaron Rodgers in a way.
That was their peak. Let's see.
But like, no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers, and he should come on the podcast one day.
I love Aaron Rodgers as well.
Him and the Hat Man should come on the podcast together.
AR, get out of the Jets. I fucking despise the Jets.
A-Rod, I love you.
A-Rod?
That's
That's a baseball player, buddy.
Sorry. Alex Rodriguez.
Yes. Aaron Rodgers is different. Okay?
Aaron Rodgers. I would love...
Aaron.
Aaron Rodgers would actually be one of my dream sports podcast members. I feel like talking to Aaron Rodgers would be awesome.
We could talk about so many things with him.
Yeah, even
related.
outside of sports. Like, I watched the Pat McAfee show with him. Shout out Pat. And I feel like, Aaron Rodgers on the show would be awesome. But yeah, that is there any other major signs in the NBA, or should I move on to the NHL signings?
Tobias Harris to the Pistons. Oh, a great one. Great signing. Isaiah Hardenstein to the OKC Thunder.
The Thunder.
A little bit of an overpay, but they got what they needed.
The Thunder are The Thunder are going to be a scary team.
They didn't give up any picks this offseason.
You know how scary it is that the Thunder were the 1 seed and they're still young?
It is scary.
They're going to be even better and better.
They're running it back. Their full team.
The Thunder are
added Hardenstein.
Within the next... I give this team like a 10-year span... This Thunder team's winning at least two chips. At least 2.
I'd be disappointed if they didn't. Because, wow, I mean, they have how many picks in the next 10 years? Like, fucking 30. I don't know. And they're
going to trade those picks.
They will.
They're going to trade them.
But as of right now, man, they have their team right now. They don't have to. Run it back this year. And if you want to get a superstar next year, for some reason, I don't know. Then we could, because you have so many picks.
Name one superstar trade, but the only superstar trade that has worked out, and this isn't me being biased as a Raptors fan. Yeah. The only superstar trade that has worked out really in the past few years is Kawhi and the Raptors and the Spurs trading Kawhi and DeRozan. Because listen, I like DeRozan a lot, but in my opinion, Kawhi's on a whole nother level than DeRozan.
Yes.
And the Raptors fleeced the Spurs. We got a whole championship out of that trade. That trade is what made the Raptors win. If the Raptors didn't have Kawhi, nothing would. The Warriors would have won again. Clay would have had 5 rings. But since the Raptors got Kawhi, everything changed, and that was the only really superstar trade that I can tell you in the past few years that has worked.
That's worked out, yeah. Yep. Harden signed back with the Clippers, 2 years, $70 million.
The Clippers are just accepting mediocrity.
As of right now, yes. Who knows what they do in the next weeks? Same with the Lakers. DeMar DeRozan's out there. Will he accept a $13 million contract? No, he won't. But if he does, man, I don't even see a fit there. He doesn't shoot threes.
Nope. Except in 2K. In 2K, he can make threes for some reason.
For some reason, right? AD doesn't shoot threes.
DeRozan's gonna go back to Toronto.
I can't see that happening.
No, I don't want it. Because I'm not paying that much money for. How old is DeRozan? He's old.
35.
Yep.
34. 35.
It's kind of, bro. Everybody we grew up watching is getting old.
And then we got new guys coming in.
LeBron's gonna be retiring within the next 3 years.
Yes.
Depending on this contract situation. I feel like this contract he signs, most like 99% with the Lakers. If it somehow isn't with the Lakers, I'd be very shocked. But with the Lakers, I feel like this is his last ever contract. I feel like he's retiring after that. Whether it be the max amount of years I could see it being is 3. That's max.
Max, yeah.
I'm giving him 1, 2, or 3 more years. He's not going to end with a chip. The Lakers aren't winning a chip anytime soon.
I have one question for you. Since DeMar DeRozan's the last big free agent on the market,
yep.
Where would he fit well out of anybody in the NBA? Provided that they have cap space for him. Otherwise, he'd just go to the Lakers, wouldn't he?
He would.
I don't see it. The Heat don't have money. The Magic, possibly. I don't know if they want him. haven't heard anything about it. The Bucks don't have money.
I could see him going to Houston. I don't know why.
Okay.
I could see him going to Houston. Maybe Atlanta.
I can't see Atlanta.
Maybe Cleveland.
I could probably see Cleveland.
I'll tell you right now. Celtics, no. Nets. It's okay. Let me see it. Let me say it again. I'll just tell you right now. Out of all I'll go through all 30 teams real quick. Celtics, no. Nets, no. Knicks, maybe. Sixers, maybe. Raptors, very unlikely. Bulls, no. Cavs, possible. Pistons, why the hell would he sign with the Pistons? Never. Pacers, maybe. Bucks, maybe. Hawks, maybe. Hornets, maybe. Heat, no. Magic,
maybe.
Unlikely. Wizards, why would he do that?
Never.
Mavericks,
he's never won a chip.
He hasn't.
That's on his mind. I hope at least.
Mavericks, no. Houston makes sense. Memphis, no. New Orleans, no. San Antonio, no. Denver, most likely not. Minnesota, no. OKC, no. Portland, no. Utah, no. Golden State, maybe. LA Clippers, maybe. They're like the retirement home. Lakers, maybe. Suns, no. But the Suns like big names, so maybe. Mm-hmm. And the Kings,
I don't see the fit with the Kings.
I don't see a fit with the Kings either.
So, that's our big prediction for what's to come with DeMar DeRozan.
If I had to choose one team, as of right now, I'm choosing the Los Angeles Clippers to sign DeMar DeRozan.
Because he wants to go to LA, or
because that's a retirement home of the NBA.
Okay, I don't see.
Kawhi and DeMar are going to be on the same team after all these.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, remember when they traded us? And I.
Remember, and I won.
That would be so bad. I would feel so bad. I really like DeMar, and I would love DeMar to win a chip. If DeMar wants to win a chip, I would say go to Denver.
I can't see that. I cannot see that.
It doesn't. He would have to be a bench player, and he would have to take a pay cut.
I can't see it. At the end of the day, I want him on the Lakers. Just cause.
I could definitely.
Because LeBron's willing to have the pay cut, so.
He's not going to win a ring on the Lakers, though.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just being honest.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here.
The Lakers.
Get out of your own house.
The Lakers have. The Lakers aren't making a run.
I think this is if there's 1 year that we could win, is this next year, depending on what.
If LeBron wants to win a ring before he retires, he better get out of LA with his contract.
I can't speak to that because I believe we have a good shot as long as the Nuggets stay.
No,
like as they are right now.
The Lakers, I don't see them being Minnesota.
The Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and maybe another surprise team will be the only competitors in the West.
The Mavs, I
think the Mavs will regress, but they'll be good.
Hold on.
I don't know if they make the finals again.
I'm gonna tell you right now, all the Western Conference teams that I think would beat the Lakers in a 7-game playoff series as of right now.
With DeMar DeRozan, right? Hypothetically.
The Lakers with DeMar DeRozan.
And we're going to trade D'Lo at some point for, like, Jeremy Grant.
So you have the Los Angeles Lakers, hypothetically, with DeMar DeRozan. What teams in the West beat them in a playoff series? The Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, that's fair.
Denver Nuggets.
Fair, kind of. Because they did lose such a big
The Memphis Grizzlies, if they're not shooting guns?
No, they're not.
Maybe.
They're good, but they're not. They can't beat the Lakers.
You're right, because they did play each other.
They already did play each other at their best.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. That's why I was like hesitant. No, anyway, moving back. Minnesota Timberwolves would beat them.
Fair.
I feel like that actually
Sacramento,
a really good playoff series.
Ooh, do you think
a really good playoff series would be Lakers with DeMar against a fully healthy Pelicans squad? I feel like that would go 7.
That's a good series because I think the Pelicans will be better.
I feel like I glaze Zion every episode, but a Zion healthy Pelicans is a contender in the NBA. So I would say that goes 7. Would I say they would beat them? Would I say it would beat them though? They need the experience first. They haven't gotten there yet.
It's still a good team.
The Thunder beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. The Suns, no. The Kings, the Kings have heart.
They do have heart,
and I could see it. And yeah,
I think there's maybe 4 teams, 5.
As of right now, though, the only teams I could really say 100% I would take are the Mavs, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Thunder. Those 5.
Okay,
Before.
fair. Well, we covered all the major movement in the NBA free agency class. What else? What else is next? Let's see.
I'll move on to the NHL free agency.
We could do that.
All right. I even wrote down some Penguins news for me to talk about. So, the big storyline of the NHL free agency is the Nashville Predators. The Nashville Predators signed 3 of the biggest names in free agency. All 3 of them they got.
Okay. So they had money to spend.
The new Nashville Predators signed Brady Shea, Steven Stamkos, and Jonathan Marchessault. The Predators just became one of the most unpredictable teams for his next NHL season. That's what's different about the NHL and the NBA. The NBA is a lot more predictable than the NHL. The NHL is all about chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Connor McDavid. I mean, he's the best in the world. Still hasn't won a ring, though. How many years into his career are we? I think maybe 10.
Almost 10, at least, yeah.
And he still hasn't... This is his first time making it to the finals, and he got edged.
He got edged.
It's 3-0, and then it's 3-3, and then the Panthers win. So, but the Nashville Predators became a contender within 4 hours. The Nashville Predators became a serious Stanley Cup champion contender for the next season.
They did make the playoffs last year, so.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They lost to the Canucks.
They did. I do remember that. I completely forgot about that series. I'm surprised you remember, and I didn't. I'm so tired.
I mean, what seed were they?
The NHL playoff format's stupid. There's no really seeds. It goes by divisions and wild cards.
Yeah,
it should go back to 1 and 8.
But okay, there were 6.
Yeah, but I was gonna say I'm pretty sure there were 6. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna be better. Based on what has transpired.
But unless you look at the history of teams having the best off seasons, they'll miss the playoffs completely.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't see that happening. The Nashville Predators have a good shot next year. In other news,
fun team, eh?
In other news, Jake Gensel, former Pittsburgh Penguin. I have Jake Gensel's jersey and used stick upstairs.
Ah, yes, Gensel. I remember highlights you showed me.
I love him and I miss him because he was great. The Carolina Hurricanes traded Jake Gensel to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a 7-year, $9 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
Is it overpay? The entire talk was it overpay? Because a lot of teams wanted Gensel, but they didn't want to pay the money for it. I could see it being a little bit of overpay. Because as much as I love Jake Gensel, he's not a player that's going to be a captain of a... Like, when the Penguins won the Cup in 2016, 2017, I forget which year it was that I thought this, but the year that Crosby won the Finals MVP, I thought Gensel deserved it. And everybody thought, a lot of people thought Gensel deserved it because Gensel was the best player in that series and the playoffs.
What year is this again?
Either 17 or 16. I forget which one that Crosby.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was 17. But Jake Gensel should have been the Conn Smythe winner, but he wasn't. But besides those years, Gensel's a great player. But he's not like a player that's going to be like, okay, he's going to be the star player of this team that's going to go all the way.
Okay.
Plus, Tampa Bay's washed now.
They are washed, aren't they?
I think it was a bad contract, but Gensel deserves the money, so I'm not mad at the contract. You know, he deserves every penny. I love Gensel, and I hope everything the best for him. I miss him in Pittsburgh. He's going to be in Tampa Bay for the next 7 years, it looks like. Probably going to retire there.
Yeah.
In other news, Oliver Ekman-Larsson leaves the Florida Panthers to sign with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 4 years, $3.5 million. Tyler Bertuzzi signs with the Chicago Blackhawks. 4 years, $5.5 million. Brandon Montour leaves the Florida Panthers goes to the Seattle Kraken. 7 years, $7.14 million. Tyler Toffoli signs with the San Jose Sharks. 4 years, $6 million. Matt Roy signs with the Washington Capitals, 6 years, $5.75 million. Chandler Stevenson signs with the Seattle Kraken, 7 years, $6.25 million. Anthony Duclair goes on his retirement search to be on every single one of the 32 NHL teams and signs a 4-year, $3.5 million contract with the New York Islanders. Those were like the major signs. There's been like 100 signings. They said that in total contracts signed in the NHL, there was like $2 billion worth.
That's awesome. I love movement like that. It's fun.
It is, except when the Penguins don't do too much. The Penguins signed Sebastian Aho, but not like one of the best players in the league on the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho. Somebody with the same exact name.
Yeah.
We signed him for a league minimum $725,000 for 1 year. Mm-hmm. I got edged. I thought we got one of the best players. It was just the same. It was like the knockoff version. It's like when you get Sam's Cola instead of Coke. Yeah.
Okay.
Sam's Cola is good though, because my name's Sam and I like Sam's Cola. Payne showed me that. But in the Pittsburgh Penguins news, the Penguins did a horrible trade where they traded future considerations, the best player in the NHL, to the St. Louis Blues for Kevin Hayes and a 2025 second-round pick. The Penguins are already... We talked about this. The Penguins are already old. There was no reason to get older. Why the hell would you trade for Kevin Hayes? He's so old. Anyway. They did make a good trade, though. The Pittsburgh Penguins traded Riley Smith to the New York Rangers for a 2027 second and a 2025 fifth. Mm-hmm. We cleared $5 million in cap space with this move. The New York Rangers, my family's all Rangers fans, and they're not happy. The Rangers have not made any moves in free agency. Not anything good. Not anything they needed to make. All the top players are gone. And the Penguins made a few other signings today, but nothing too, much to cover. They signed Anthony Bolivar, I don't know how to pronounce his name, to a 1-year, $1.25 million contract. And like I said, there's probably a few more names that I missed because it was a lot to cover. But the NHL free agency has been a lot of work for coverage pages. It's been a lot of stuff, a lot of movement. The teams that are doing the best though,
the Bruins dished out a lot of money.
The Bruins, I'd say the top 4 teams in free agency right now. Actually, I'll just do top 3. The Nashville Predators, the Boston Bruins, and the Washington Capitals are the 3 teams doing the best right now in free agency. And the Anaheim Ducks are doing the worst because they literally didn't. I don't think they signed a single person the first day. They didn't want to have fun, and the Ducks got the 3rd overall pick. The Ducks have a lot to work on. At least they brought back the Mighty Ducks logo and jerseys. That's the good thing. Maybe they're back.
Eventually.
Besides that,
got a lot of work, like you said.
The Mighty Ducks have a lot of work to do.
A lot of work. Same with San Jose. Same with the Blackhawks. Some of the NFL's worst teams.
NHL, sorry. Yeah.
Some of the NHL's worst teams.
When the NFL... I feel like next week... We should talk as a little snippet to our next week's podcast. We should do NFL predictions.
It's kind of early for that.
You think?
Yeah.
We're already through every major thing.
At least preseason, Let's at least get there.
You really think?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's injuries that happen in preseason that are bad, but happen, and we got to be aware of that.
I feel like
Same with fantasy football. You want to start one right now, would you?
I don't really care. I mean...
Hey, if you're putting money down,
True.
You wouldn't want to do it right now.
I'm going to be doing my college football predictions very soon, and I will be talking about them on the podcast. And I'm very excited for that because I love college football.
And I'll get into college football. I have no idea what the fuck that is.
I will be showing you all of this.
Everything. Show me everything.
You and I are going to...
See, this is the problem. I want to lay this out there for the viewers, listeners. NYU doesn't have a football team. We're D3 and everything. Sports is not a big thing for my college, so I'm not really into it. If it were, Oh my God! I'd be at every game ever.
If you went to Penn State or Pitt, not really Penn. If you went
Penn State,
Penn State, Pitt, but like Penn State, like the top school, Alabama, Florida, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. You go to one of those schools.
Yeah, you'd be into it.
Florida's football is like a religion there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my problem. But I will get into it eventually.
Promise. For one of next week's episodes, we're going to do our college football predictions. And I'm going to show you this week all about college football. And I'm going to give my predictions. And I want to see how you do on yours. I have an entire website that will do.
You know what we could do, though?
What could we do?
We could predict the Premier League. We could predict the Champions League.
We could do that. I have to learn a lot.
And the Euros that are going on. That eventually will be a topic.
We could.
Because the Premier League starts mid-August. So it's even earlier than NFL.
There's a certain adult website that has an award show. We could predict that, too.
Okay. Etc.
My fault. I ruined the mood there. But
MLB is still going on.
We
have not talked about it whatsoever.
We have not. I'm a Pirates fan. There's not much to look forward to.
Trade deadline's coming up, though. And that should be...
Is there any big trades?
The Blue Jays might sell. And that would be...
The Blue Jays are officially...
That'd be depressing.
It's officially time to tank in Toronto.
I wouldn't want that. I think we still have a shot next year. As long
to win it all?
Yeah, if we add the right pieces. We're not bad as it is. The team is not bad. We're just performing bad. Fire our head coach, our manager. Fire the general manager. Let's run it back. You don't have to trade Vladdy.
Sure.
That would kill Canada and their sales. The tickets will be...
Speaking of Canadian sports, I feel like we don't appreciate Canadian fans enough.
We don't.
The Toronto Raptors might have the best fans in the NBA, and that might be biased, but if not the best, they have a top 5 fan base. They have an entire country behind them. I mean, the NHL has some of the best fans in the world. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Vancouver Canucks, just to name 2 teams, they have great fan bases. The NFL... We talked about this. Will the NFL ever bring a Canadian team to the NFL? I don't know.
Who knows?
It's called National Football League, yet there's only teams in America. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah. Yes, Dylan. That's actually true. Dylan doesn't know anything about sports. We're teaching him. But and the MLB, there's only the Blue Jays. Like, I feel like Montreal, if you do expand in the MLB, do you bring the Expos back? If you expand in the NBA, do you bring the Vancouver Grizzlies back? Or do you add different teams? I feel like there should be, and even in NBA, do you give Mexico, we talked about expansion in our first episode, but do you give Mexico City a chance? I feel like there's so much out there, and then you give random cities teams that really don't deserve a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is true. I agree.
I feel like there's a lot of... I feel like every city that has a team deserves a team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the entire thing. Like, the Arizona Coyotes are officially out of Arizona, moved to Utah. They might bring back an expansion team for Arizona, which I would like. Yeah. Because Arizona, when they're doing good, they can draw fans.
Yeah.
That's the entire thing. The Florida Panthers, everybody talked about them leaving, and now they won the Stanley Cup. And this ties into actually what I was going to say. The Florida Panthers Stanley Cup parade was the other day, and a lot of people were bashing it online because it was raining first off, and they're on the streets, and there was nobody there on the streets. But then they show a view of the beach from the most, like 90% of the screen is just red jerseys.
Okay, so I did not see that.
The entire, like, when any team can, a lot of teams have fans, but if your team's not doing good, you're not going to draw. Like, why do you think the Coyotes were the worst? The Coyotes might have been the worst run team in sports. And they had to move out of Arizona. Sure, the Arizona had issues, but they should get an expansion with a different owner and see how it works. Because they never really had a fair shot. Like, when they're good, if they're good, they can draw fans. And hockey, and you can't say hockey doesn't work in warm towns. Look at Tampa Bay, look at Nashville, look at Dallas, and look at those teams. Even when they're bad, they still draw. San Jose right now is struggling, but they still can draw some good fans. LA always draws. Anaheim, usually. Like, I don't know. That was a little sidetrack. But outside, do you think there should be more Canadian teams? Or even international? That the NFL wants to expand to the UK, which I don't really like that idea because that's just going to make traveling hell for the players. The only way I would make it maybe work is if you add an entire... The only way it would make sense, for me, you could add a division, but you still have to travel with other teams. I would make 2 more conferences. If you expand, you got to expand big. You got to add... You got to add another 16 or 32 teams on a different continent so they could all play each other.
You know how crazy that'd be?
And then you got to make the playoffs where they play each other because like
there's a dystopian world out there that we're not aware of that has that. And it maybe thrives. We'll never find out probably.
True. I feel like that would be that's the only way I could see it working. A UK division, sure, they'll play each other a lot. But, like, having fucking the Las Vegas Raiders fly all the way to the UK and back and then play on Thursday Night Football against the Denver Broncos is kind of stupid.
I agree.
So what's your opinion? Should there be more national... Like, the MLS has more... We don't talk about the MLS a lot, but the MLS has more national teams. They have Toronto... Do they have Toronto?
They do.
They have Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal.
Yeah.
So, in all of... the sports in America, NHL has the most Canadian teams, obviously, and then the MLS, and then the MLB and NBA are tied, and the NFL has 0.
I agree. I mean, not only Canada. I mean, Mexico City is a hub.
Like the CFL used to have a team in America. I just learned that the other day.
You did? I didn't know.
They said that because they said an American team has won the CFL championship more recently than a Canadian team's won the Stanley Cup, which is kind of insane. But, you know, I feel like there should be more international teams because I feel like international fan bases, even in the WWE, you go to these shows in Scotland or Wales or England or France, the crowds are insane.
UFC as well.
They had a French crowd a few months ago, and they said... I've heard multiple sources say, and I watched it, that the French crowd might have been the best crowd of all time in WWE. Do you think there should be more international sports teams in American sports?
International, no. Well,
North American. Canadian.
Yes. North American, yes.
Canadian no. And Mexico. More, I don't know.
At least expand to the North American countries.
That's the entire thing with Mexico. Like I don't know how it would work because we've never seen it. We've seen it with G League team, but that's all.
I think their main thing is getting a crowd there to be like generally supportive of that sport because Mexico's not really, they don't have the same passion we do for these sports.
They don't. So
I think it's expanding the sport before getting the team there, if you know what I mean. Like,
I feel like the NBA's expanded enough.
Enough, right?
Everybody has a Curry jersey from 2016. Everybody has a LeBron Cavs jersey.
NFL has played games there.
And they had the laser pointers.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least the North American countries. At least. In the next 5 to 10 years. I would love to see that. For the sports goodwill.
What about Canadian teams? Do you think there should be more Canadian MLB and NBA teams?
Yeah, Canadian and Mexico. At least one in Mexico.
You think in which sport? NBA?
NBA, MLB, NFL.
Really? Yeah, I was gonna say NHL Mexico team wouldn't really make too much sense.
Wouldn't make sense, no. But
you could try it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary Bettman likes to try things, but I don't think it would work. If Atlanta didn't work, Mexico City wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I love the Atlanta Thrashers though. I have an Atlanta Thrashers jersey.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a Las Vegas situation where you expand the Las Vegas. The NHL did it first, and now suddenly
now that it works.
Now that there's most likely within the next 10 years, there's all four major sports are gonna have a Las Vegas team.
Yep.
The NHL did it first. The Vegas Golden Knights always fill up. They have like 102% capacity all the time. The Las Vegas Athletics the Las Vegas Raiders, and
Yep.
the Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA, and then you'll have the Las Vegas NBA team, because guaranteed, like we talked about,
It will happen.
in my opinion, when the NBA expands with 2 more teams, it's gonna be Seattle
And Vegas.
and Vegas.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like the NHL, which is insane. The NHL expanded Seattle and Vegas.
Seattle and Vegas, yep. Those 2 hubs that require teams, in my opinion. Vegas is it's a city that, has boomed in the last 10 years. You need that in there. It's not just a gambling city, okay? It's more than that. Trust.
The gambling's definitely a huge thing that the sports teams love, though.
Yeah. Hey, Sam.
What's going on?
What's going on, chat?
I was gonna say, I was really about to say, like, outside of
Okay.
the top 4 sports, we had another event. We had UFC 303 that we talked about.
Perfect. I was going to say that. Okay. I'm going to talk about the main card.
Talk about the main card.
The main card. 1, 2, 3, 5 fights.
5 fights.
Michael Venom Page versus Ian Machado Gary.
Mm-hmm.
A UK bout. A welterweight bout.
Welterweight.
Not Walter White. Welterweight.
Jesse.
Ian Machado continues undefeated against Venom Page in 3 rounds. Was it split decision or unanimous? I forgot. But it was probably the most boring main card fight, in my opinion. The thoughts on that? If you remember.
I was 4 beers deep and you guys took my phone. I didn't really watch this fight.
Okay. A lot of detail there.
The fights I can actually tell you I remember are only the Lopez and Pereira fight.
Okay. That's not the.
I didn't even really get to see the girl getting her head busted open by the elbow because you guys were being assholes and took my phone.
Let's talk about that. That was bullshit.
I didn't really see it because I was too drunk and you took my phone.
It was fucking bullshit. How do you stop a fight? It was a big cut, but you can't just stop the fight that way. She lost her ranking, most likely, just because of that. Screw the doctor. You didn't have to stop the fight, buddy. Macy won, even though we all love Maida Bonazilva, and she was clearly winning, in my opinion.
Yes, but you don't think they should have? You don't think they should have called the fight?
I didn't think they should have called the fight. I think you fix her up well, take a longer timeout if you need, and let them fight. Let them continue. She got cut. Might have lost her that round, but she won the first round. And that was just bullshit.
Makes
Thoughts?
sense.
You didn't watch it, did you?
I mean, from what you're saying.
Yeah,
but do you take the risk of her, like somebody, especially with a blow to the head? Do you really want to take that risk of letting them fight taking a fight to risk their health?
At least finish that round. In my
wholeheartedly
opinion.
If you know, even if Silva won that last round, it wouldn't have mattered because Macy won the first 2.
I don't think so. I think she won. I think Silva won the first. She got the cut in the second round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she did.
Early in the second round.
1 minute and 58 seconds in the round 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that they called the fight, but it also makes sense to me. I'm very mutual on it because I feel like somebody's health is more important than a sport. But it's also
screw that. It's UFC 303, baby.
True.
It was
Conor McGregor should have been there.
Should have been there. Broken toe, whatever. Hey, Alex Pereira.
I was literally about to say broke his toe, and he's fine.
He's fine. He's all good.
Hey,
let's move on. Anthony Smith. What a bore. Actually, I take that back. Ian Machado Gary versus Venom Page was not the most boring fight of the main card. I think.
Yeah,
Anthony Smith and Roman.
I forgot that. I forgot this fight happened.
It was really boring.
The pre-card matches were a lot better than these 2. That knockout.
Yeah.
I forget who
there was a few knockouts in the pre-cards. Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Peyton Talbot, what a fucking god. He's going to be so good.
Yeah.
In the bantamweight. Watch out for his name. I'm going to call it prediction. He's going to be a champion in a few years.
Okay.
He has undefeated so far, and he fights like a fucking... I don't know. I don't want to say it. But the co-main, Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega, did not happen.
No, it did not. Bro, that was so weird. We were all watching the TV, and they're like, breaking news, breaking news.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey's fighting Diego Lopez.
Steve Harvey.
What? What the fuck you mean Steve Harvey's fighting Diego Lopez?
Dan Ige, who's a ranked fighter in the catchweight.
Danny Gay.
Danny Gay. He actually put up a solid fight.
He did. I respect him a lot. I think he's a good fighter, and I think he seems like a very nice guy. Like I said, I'm still getting into the UFC.
I liked when they were like holding hands.
They were
talking to Dana White. Like,
I was low-key getting excited. Not really though. But Danny Gay seems like Dan E. Gay. You know what I mean? He seems like a nice guy, nice fighter, and I respect him. I respect him for taking that fight last minute, and I hope the best for him. I don't know much about him, and I hope he wins his next fight, whoever that may be.
He knew he was gonna lose too. His only shot was like Diego Lopez getting like bad hit and getting a knockout.
Yep.
Otherwise, going 3 rounds with Diego Lopez, it's over.
Yep.
Main event.
Yeah.
Wow. I missed it.
I missed
the knockout.
You were in the bathroom taking a piss.
Yeah.
And then I literally yelled, "He was like, it's over."
I walk out and Alex Pereira
You went in the bathroom during the intermission after he knocked Yuri down.
In the first round, yeah.
And as soon as he knocked him down, I was like, this is going to end really quickly, isn't it?
I shouldn't have went to the bathroom.
13 seconds in the round 2.
What a fucking kick. Wow.
That was insane.
Right to the side of the head, knocking out Yuri for their second time.
Yuri was
it was second knockout for Yuri versus Pereira.
Yuri was seeing stars, bro. Alex Pereira.
To me, apart from John Jones, he is the face of the UFC.
He might never lose again.
He might never lose. We would love to see him in the heavyweight against John Jones eventually.
That'd be awesome.
That would be.
I've never actually seen John Jones fight because I'm still getting into it.
He's fucking awesome. Has he lost like twice ever in the UFC? Not even once, maybe.
How many fights has he had?
At least 25. He's been around for a while.
Insane.
He's 36, I think. More than that, probably.
Yeah, Yuri.
And he's so good. Yuri is amazing.
Yeah, he's 35
and Alex Pereira made him look
silly.
I was going to say another word started with a... I'm not going to say it. But yeah, silly. And I love that for the sport. You're into it now.
I am into it, except when you guys were assholes. I was so drunk. Dylan was so fucked up. Everybody was... Actually, yeah, not everybody. Just me and Dylan.
I can't wait for July 13th. It's a fight night, and the main event is my girlfriend, Tracy Cortez. She's so beautiful. If you ever hear this, Tracy, marry me. Search her Instagram up. She's amazing. She's hot.
Bro got horny mid-podcast.
She's gorgeous. For a UFC fighter, at least.
True.
And, yeah.
I
think that's it for the UFC. We covered it pretty well.
I think we covered every single topic that we needed to look forward to. I think... Oh, yeah, we did the NHL.
We did everything.
We did the NHL, did the NBA.
We'll cover other things we missed on the next one.
I don't know if we really missed anything.
Euros, Copa America.
Yeah, I don't know shit about soccer. We'll try.
That's your problem, buddy. It's the best sport in the world.
I just angered half the world.
Yeah, it's the best sport in the world, right?
It's not that I like soccer. I played soccer. I was a goalie. I got a shutout my first game.
You did?
I got a shutout first game as goalie, and then we never won again. And then I quit because I was like, I don't like this no more. We were playing against our biggest rivals.
Was it East?
It was East.
Okay.
And it was a 1-1 game or a 0-0 game. I forget which. It was rainy. And I go to make it was 1-0. We lost 1-0 because it was 0-0. And I slip in the mud trying to get the ball.
Actually, that's why.
I slip in the mud trying to dive at the ball. And I miss. And we lose 1-0 against our biggest rivals. And, yeah.
Wow. No wonder you hate soccer.
I don't hate it. I just, looking back on it, my fucking teammates, I felt bad, but, they were on my dick. There was a team A and a team B. I was obviously on team B because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I remember one time I don't know what the rules called, but like when you're a goalie, you can only like carry it out to a certain spot.
You touched it out of the box.
I carried it out of the box.
Oh my god.
My teammates were not happy with me.
Breaking news. Hold on.
Breaking news.
It seems like the Warriors just got Buddy healed.
What the hell?
This
is live. This is live on podcast.
Hold on. Yep. There's sign and trade of Buddy Hield, 76ers Warriors. They're going to add shooting. The Warriors adding shooting. Wow.
They're looking for the shooter.
Oh, my God. I kind of wanted him on the Lakers, but I want everybody on the Lakers. So
yeah, I know. That's what all Lakers fans want.
Yeah. So there's the breaking news. Nothing else yet happening in the NBA.
Lakers fans are like the communists of the NBA.
Explain yourself.
I don't know. I was trying to think of a good joke. I don't know, because they won everything, I guess. I don't know. It was just I was hoping you. Why the fuck would you ask me to explain the joke? That ruined the entire purpose of it.
I don't know what it means. That's why.
Bro, none of this shit should be taken seriously. As I said, bro, I'm just saying bullshit.
That's the function, eh?
Hey, it's a party.
It's a party, man.
I think that's all we have.
You want to wrap it up?
I always wrap. I always wrap it up. I always use condoms. I am all for protected and safe sex.
Perfect. Oh, I do want to shout somebody out, by the way.
Why would you say it right after the sex part, man?
Fuck, you're right. Anyway. That's not happening this episode anymore. Yeah.
I just saved Alex's career. Just saved it. So, hey, I think you ready to log off for the night?
I'm ready to log off for the night. It's almost
It is
20 past 12.
It is 12:18. I think this might be the earliest podcast we've ever done.
And I think that's progress. Maybe we should start earlier next time.
I say our next pod has Tuesday sound.
Whenever. Tuesday?
I feel like
today's Wednesday.
Or shit.
Yeah, today. Well, we started Tuesday.
I thought it was Sunday.
You mean Thursday?
Thursday.
Yep.
July 4th special.
Yeah, it is July 4th.
We're having a
Whenever it happens.
We're having a 4th of July special. Cook up some good questions for me, and I'll cook up some good questions for you.
So non-sports related for the next.
Unless there's big sports news, July 4th is all about
Okay.
fun. It's a party. We'll get drunk and have hot dogs and play Fortnite.
And Roblox.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm Sam.
I'm Alex.
And we'll be back Thursday with episode number 5.